guys. Happy Saturday. I'm so glad to be back. I missed you guys last week, and I missed being live with you, Colleen. I really had
I miss
just like my live skills.
Yeah, I miss it all. I miss you all the time.
No, I see so many friends here in the chat. I see Gina's here and Lisa, Shira. Hey, Shira. Fran and Hazel, Sarah, Marlene is here, Nancy, Valerie, Fran, Liz is here, Hazel, Dina, Lori's here. Hey guys, I'm so glad. Kim, I missed you guys last week so much. I had a really nice time to visit. Oh wow, we've got Leslie, Jay Valentin. Oh, I'm loving scrolling and seeing all your guys' smiles. I can feel your smiles through your writing. It's so cool. But I had a really fun week last week. You're gonna be shocked. I went shopping. I went to a mall, and I was just walking around. I know. Well, I have a friend of mine. That's what we used to do because we've been friends since before we had kids, and we were actually the only California transplants at the company that I used to work for, and so we became fast friends. And then, we didn't know anybody because we were brand new in the area, so we used to hang out all the time. And then we both had kids right around the same time. She had 2 girls, I had 2 boys, so we went through the stroller thing together.
Yeah.
And now we're finally getting back there without kids with us again. And shopping, and it had been a year. We let a year go by this time because she's a little far. She's like an hour away. So we have that. I used to live on the other side of the Puget Sound. So whenever we get together, one of us has to drive all the way around the sound or go on a ferry.
Yeah. And that's an adventure.
Yeah. So we get together kind of like we pick a midpoint and then we shop. And I noticed while we were walking around, I noticed a trend for purse charms. Everywhere. I was looking for purse charms. I didn't realize I needed a purse charm. But then when I saw them in all the bags and I saw them in all the stores, I was like, hang on, I need one. So I had these beautiful pearls from Sam's Bead Shop, and I was working on something with those pearls. And, I was going to go do jewelry, right? And then I'm like, hang on, summer, our bags need some jewelry too.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I made some pearly purse charms.
Yeah, and it's a great idea. It's a great idea for Mother's Day gifts or teacher gifts. That's amazing. That's a great idea.
It's so cool.
Because our bags need
big pearls. Yeah. These are serious pearls. It's And so I have a lot of fun stuff planned for us today. We're going to have such a good time. I do have a giveaway. I'm going to give away a Sam's Bead box. Yeah. It is the latest one. I ended up getting 2 because I ordered one for myself, and then I'm doing some work on this one. So I'm doing some designing with it. And so they sent me an extra. So I am sending this one to our winner today. So #gifty in the chat, and you get my extra box. And then I have a couple of purses with me. I grabbed this one, and I grabbed the one that was in the picture. And I'm going to talk at the end about how to make this charm work for different strap styles on a purse. Because I noticed there's lots of different, either in the front or on the side. And so you might need to change up how you finish the top part. To make it
very thoughtful. That's so thoughtful.
Well, thanks,
I will let you get to it. I will see you guys later.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all the links and all the hard work that you did with the giveaway setup and everything. Thank you so much. So I'm going to bring in my other camera, guys. I'm going to show you what I have here up close. So here's the actual little charm. And actually, let me just make this the big screen so you can really see the whole thing here. On the bag, I have designed it to fit, and I'll talk a little bit more about this part once we get through the fun part of building this. But on this bag, I have created what's actually just a little 2-column peyote stitch little connection. And the way that I created this is that it is a double design. So it hangs with 2, but it starts as just 1, and you could stop there if you wanted and have it just be 1. It can also be jewelry in this way because it's suspended in a way that could easily become a necklace or earrings. Now, these are big pearls. These are, let me get you the size really quick. So they are 9 by 12 millimeters. So 9 this way and 12 that way. So you're looking at a pretty big pearl. So for earrings, you've got some pretty statement earrings here. It would be a really perfect pendant. And you could even make it into a bracelet. It would be a little bit interestingly suspended. You'd have to start with a side like this and then maybe do 2 strands coming out in the same way that I created for this on that side. You could have 2 or just 1 and 1. And you could have like a 2-stranded suspension, if that makes sense. So it'd be, but look at my wrist. See, you can see how big of a piece that is. It's a very statement, very charm-like. Like a, focal. You could call it a focal, I think. And so this is a really, really fun spin on that. And so there is a handout for today because it is a little bit of beadweaving. And so I wrote it all down for you. You can get this I put it on my website. It's probably going to be also added to Sam's Bead Shop's Google Drive where they keep all of the class handouts. It'll be probably in both places, but for sure, like right now today, since it's a weekend, and I got it to them a little late, you'll be able to find it on my website, at least today. And it's got all of the little steps that you would need, including my pattern for my little chain. And then, oh yeah. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So we're dropping the links to that right now in the chat. If you guys are live with us, you'll be able to find that. And if you're not live with us, it's in the description. So you'll be able to find it then too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you materials really quick. Let me set this aside for now, the finished one, and make a little bit of room to show you what I'm using for materials. So let's start with the star of the show, which are those gorgeous pearls. And you get a really pretty generous strand of them. There's a lot on a strand. And again, these are the 9x12. And then there are these little rice-shaped ones. These are really fun. And these are about 4x5mm. And they're a nice complement to the color here. So they look really pretty together. It has a very lustery summer feeling to it. And then another beautiful gemstone that I'm going to be bringing in. It's very essential, but it doesn't jump out at you right away. But those are little faceted aquamarine rondelles, and they're teeny tiny little 2x3mm ones. And so here's those up close. I got to do the spin for you. If I'm doing a Sam's Bead Shop reveal, I have to do the spin because there's always so much sparkle. Look at those. So I'm excited about these. You know how I use these all the time in different stuff. So not only for this design, but for others, I'm excited about those. And then I'm pulling in some Firepolish. There's some staple items that I feel like you really need when you're working on a design like this. So there's that one. And then there's going to be some seed beads. Because, seed bead Saturday. So I used all of these. This is a size 15. It's a Silverline gold. And then there's these 2 hex beads, and these are size 80. So those are your beads, and all of that is named and listed out here for you. It's also in the description and an active link to where you can shop. And Sam's Bead Shop put it all in one page for you. So it's so easy, super, super easy. And last but not least, we're going to need some thread. I'm just going to use some Fireline, guys. I've got some 6-pound Fireline that I'll be using. And you can find all of this on Sam's Bead Shop. The needle I'm going to use is flexible. So you can use either, not a flexible, sorry, it's a hard beading needle, but the size is a flexible thing. You can use size 10 beading needle. Size 12 would also be great. The pearls, let me talk about the small pearls. So what I found is the gemstones. These actually, I didn't have any trouble getting my needle through them. It was pretty easy. These ones, no problem getting 2 passes except for you feel it. So this is the tightest fit. So if you have a size 12 and you want to use that, it might make it a smidge easier. But I was using a size 10 when I made my samples, and it worked out fine. So whichever you got. And so you want to start with 45 inches. And we're going to be leaving a 7-inch tail. So what I'm going to do to start is these are used in the chain. So let's set the chain items over here. And we won't need those just yet. We won't need these just yet either. For now, what we're going to need are the 15s, and whichever color you'd like. I was using the Rosaline on all my samples, but I think it would look cool with this one too, with the Hematite, but whichever you want. And I'll stick with what I've got here. And you only need 5 of the pearls. So just get those ready. There's that. And then it's our teeny little size 15s. So I think you guys are going to like this one because the thread path. If you're a thread path nerd like me, I know a lot of you guys totally are thread path nerds like I am. It's really fun to do designs where you just keep ending up right where you want to be for the next step. And conveniently, there's a tail waiting for you when you need to tie or, tighten. And so this is one of those designs where it's like it was just kind of meant to be as far as like where you end up as you're stitching. So it's really enjoyable to make. And I'm just flattening into my Fireline here. I'm just going to thread my beading needle. And again, this is about 45 inches or so of beading thread. Okay, so let's start with our pearl. I'm going to string this on and leave about 7 inches behind as a tail. And what we're going to be doing with this tail, we're going to tie a knot to it and just trim it. So it's super easy. It doesn't have to be super long. And there's a size 15. So pearl 15. And then we do a pearl and a 15. Let's repeat that until we've put all 5. Here's this one. Oh gosh, these are so pretty. They're really gorgeous. All right, so there's a pearl and a 15-0. And then I'm going to just follow up with one more 15 there. And let's go back through our first pearl. And that's going to form that little ring that looks like a flower. Yeah, it's so lovely. I agree 100%. These are the most lovely pearls. I mean, they really blew me away when I opened the package. And because I had already had a heads up they were going to be pearls. And then when I saw them, I was just like, they literally glow. They're so gorgeous. So there's our first ring. And what I did do on my designs is because these are a big bead, I went around again just to stabilize all this. So you can probably get through a couple at a time, but just keep tightening it. And try not to skip your 15s. It's really easy to skip those 15s on these extra passes. Do that all the way around till you get to the first pearl, the one you started with. And now we're moving on to the next part, which is step 2. So string a repeat of the size 15. Oh, hey, Lena. Yes, Lena's here. So there's a 15 and an 8-0. I'm going to do that 5 times. And I always lose count, so I just check at the end. Whoop. That one jumped. All right. Let's see how many that is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's number 5. After your 5th hex bead, put on another 15. So what you'll have is a total of 5 of these hex beads, and it'll start and end with a 15-0 and be spaced with a 15-0. So all the way across that whole string. And if you were using pearls that are a different size than my pearls, This count right here can be different. It doesn't need to be odd count. It could be even count. It's the way we're going to build the next steps doesn't depend on having a point. So I know a lot of mandala designs, like this is technically a mandala design. A lot of those need an odd count for a point. This one you don't. So if you were working with a different pearl and you just needed to make 4, for example, no problem. That's going to work out great. So there's our stringing. We got that done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back through that same pearl. So in this first step, you'll be heading back through the pearl where the tail is. And just go all the way through. And so you'll get what's look like a little petal. It's a little frame around it. It gives it a lot of sparkle. It's really pretty. Yeah, Clarissa, these pearls, they are so glamorous. They're like the nicest pearls I've seen. They're so pretty. Really fun to work with. And the hole diameters are good too. I'm not having any trouble getting through. This is a size 10 beading needle. Things are just cruising. And so what you'll do after you get that first frame on, or little like embellishment, is go through the next 15 and go through the next pearl. And then you're going to pick up that same repeat again of 15-0 and hex bead. And again, in case anyone's joining late, these are size 8-0 hex beads and size 15 seed beads. So they're 15-0 rounds and size 8-0 hex beads. So I'm stringing 5 plus 1 15. So each of those is spaced by a 15 and we end with a 15. And then the same thing, go around and just hug that pearl. Just go right through it. Oh, Gina, this is easy peasy. You're so right. And happy Mother's Day, by the way. Hi, Zakaya. Yeah, tomorrow's a big day. I'm hoping I just get to sleep in. My dreams are small. And yeah, so I'm going to repeat what we just did for the rest of the pearls. So you go through the next 15, and don't worry, these are going to move on you a little bit, but the next step is going to solve that. So just keep going through the next pearl and pick up that same repeat. There's 2, 3. My allergies are kicking in, guys, so I'm sorry about the little sniffles. I keep trying not to do it, but it's like forever sniffles. I'm fine by like maybe mid-June or so, but the season's been getting later. I don't know why. So there's 5. And yell at me in the chat if you see me counting wrong, because that could happen. It's easy to fix, but easier if I see it sooner. There's that. Going through the next ones. Yeah, these were a treat to work with, these pearls. They're just so cool. I had one of those I love my job moments when I opened that box. I'm just like, oh my goodness. It's like I get to design with these because they're so cool. There's 5. Going around. And the last one. And so just be careful not to go through the other 15, when you're starting, because the goal is to have this be directly exiting from that pearl when you start this little fan. I'm going to call it a bunch of different things. Fan, frame, embellishment. You could call it a cape. Everybody needs a cape. There we go. And then again, I just went through the pearl. So let me hold that up and show you. So you got the frame coming on, and I'm just going through the pearl. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Terry. Yeah, happy Mother's Day, guys. It's happy Mother's Day weekend. There it is. So that is the end of step 2. And you'll find yourself exiting from the pearl that's right before the one you started on. And so that's shown here. What we just did is we just went all the way around like that. And now we're heading in. I'm going to head in to the first pearl. And this just stabilizes everything, puts the same number of passes through each one. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the next 15. And now I'm exiting from that first one again. And the reason I did that is it gives me a chance to tighten everything. So now I've got my thread exiting the opposite side of that first pearl. And, oh, forgive me, shaking the camera there. The other reason I did that is it's not required. Like you could just go from where we were here and start. But if you end up over here, there's a serendipity for the thread position of the tail. So you'll see that as we get there. But it made me quite happy. I really nerded out on it, to be honest. So let me just open the next page here. All right, so now we're here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through all those beads again. And then we're going to have a blast putting on beautiful sparkle in between each one. Also serves the purpose of locking in each of those little capes. Now, I guess it's capes now, until you get back to the first one. So we need to get there. So right now, again, we're exiting from a pearl. Aw, thanks, Sandy. I'm so glad. I'm doing more. So if you're in for some bead weaving projects, stay tuned because I've been a busy bee. And so let's see. I'm gonna get through all these. So I have to just make sure I don't skip a 15. It's really easy to do because they're teeny tinies. And don't be afraid to go, slowly and just catch a few at a time. That way you know for sure that you got through all of them. It'll still work, but your thread will show running along the 15 if you skip it. So the goal is to get to the edge 15. That first little round there. All right, let's get our gems. They're here again. So again, these are the 2 by 3 millimeter Aquamarine faceted rondelles. And you need 5 of them. So pick up one of those. Hole diameters on those are generous. Very surprising. I was worried I would need a 12, but it was fine. It works perfectly. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump from that 15. So the one we're exiting. And we're going to jump to the first 15 in the next one that is going around the pearl. So just like that. And this little rondelle is the perfect size. It just looks like a flower. And so I think it is possible that this could work for other sizes too. And I would just invite you to try things and play because like a 2 by 3 size, not far off from an 8/0 seed bead, a round one. So you can try different little colors and shapes and things like that. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm picking up one of those gemstones. I'm exiting here from that 15 and just going through the next one. Everything we're doing here serves to reinforce your design. So it's really nice. And there's our next jump. Oh, thanks, Sakaya. Yeah, Terry, these are like the most gorgeous rondelles. Like this whole kit was just so wow when I first saw it. That's one thing is like, I've noticed that when you have the right beads in your hand, the stuff designs itself. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Like the ideas just fall onto your mat. And sometimes I try things. At the end, I'm going to show you guys the idea I had before this one, which I think is lovely. It just isn't a 1-hour class. But I did have a lot of ideas, like too many. just from these beads. And there we go. There's the 15. And so I'm going slow. I'm just being careful I don't skip anything. Aw, thanks. Thanks, guys. You guys are so nice. I'm loving the chat today. I really missed you guys last week. All right, so I am back where I started. And I'm just going to pull back the handout to show you where we are. But so there's our last rondelle, and things are stabilized now. Everything's gonna like stay put. And so what we did is we just added that last rondelle, and I went ahead and I went through this 15, better seen over here. And what I'm going to do now is travel all the way around it and then just go back through the pearl. And when I get there, I'm going to head for the next 15 on the inside ring. So let me show you what that looks like really quick. It's a nice, easy bead weaving project, I feel like. And almost there. And here's our tail thread. Just keep pushing that out of the way, but keep it handy. And I'm just making sure I'm exiting from that 15. Yeah, we got it. Gonna head through the pearl. And let's go through this 15-0. So what you'll see is this is the original ring, and this 15 was one of the first we strung as part of the original ring. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to kind of push my needle toward the back. I'm going to bring myself back there. It doesn't really have a front or a back, but I kind of just chose this as the back. There is a side that I feel like, for some reason, I don't know why, but the side I had facing me while I stitched it feels like the front to me, even though I don't think they're really distinguishable. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it matters if they're, depending on my tension, they tend to be hugging a little bit this way, maybe. But so once you decide front, back, when you pick the back of it, let me show you on the finished sample really quick. The way we're doing the suspension for this little chain, it's going to anchor to that middle 15. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there we go. That's better focus. Okay. And so now this is really kind of going to become the back, and that's going to become the front. And so let's talk about the chain, because we're about to have to build our little suspension chain. This is where you can stray and make this into a different kind of jewelry. But if you're doing the purse charm and you want to just do a short little jet, let's bring the original over actually. So this one, I have a long one, and the long one I've already made, so we can do our combining, and then we're going to together finish the short one. And so this chain doesn't need to be as long, but it just suspends from the back. And the pattern's really up to you. I'm going to show you what I did. You could do any kind of pattern you want. So you're going to need some of your Firepolish, and then these little pretties. You're going to still want to use more of your hex beads. You'll still need your 15s. And then I'm going to bring out one more color, and this is just for interest. And this brings, this and the pearls, bring that color up into the chain. And when combined with the white and the gold, it really pops. All right, and so how many of these am I going to need? So on my original, actually, I gave you guys a hint of the pattern. So I started with 3 15-0s, and that's just to get you up and away from being on the reverse side of all this embellishment. And so the first thing you're going to see as it's emerging from your design, when you're looking at it from the front, is you just see those beautiful pearls just popping out. And so the pattern is start with those 3 15s, and then grab a pearl. There we go. And hang on, I'm going to just set these right so that they're easy to grab. And from here, there's a pattern. The pattern is just go 15, And let's get some of these going. And a Firepolish, a 15, and then one of your hex beads. And then here's one of the other color of hex beads, the Rosaline color. And then back to, so this plus a 15, that's one of the pattern repeats right there. And what I started doing for my chain is I spaced each of those with one of the pearls, the little pearls. And again, these are the, let me get you the name really quick. And I see there's, oh, thank you so much. Colleen's been dropping the links to all of this in the chat, but these are the 4x5mm Peacock dyed rice nugget pearls that I'm using now. These little ones. And so that right there is a repeat. And I did 3 of them for the small chain, and I did 6 of them for the big chain. And again, it is just diagrammed for you, so you don't have to memorize it. It's just right there for you. This one's not showing the 3rd repeat. I just skipped it to make it fit. But in total, I did 3. So let me throw that on really quick. There's my second one starting out. I think lots and lots of different, combinations of pretty ideas are going to work here. This was just what happened with my design, just what looked good to me. So all the beads I'm working with, those rice ones are the ones with the tightest hole diameter, but they're not tight enough to make it, of any difficulty at all. And there's those. So there's one. You can actually count your pearls to know where you're at. Oops. Sorry. These are trying to roll away. There we go. There's that one. And another pearl. And so if I go from there, that's about the height it would be. And I'm just going to take a look at my original. And then here's my longer one. And one thing you can think about is consider when they're suspended. Let's say they're suspended from the same place, both like that. If you want them to hang so that one is directly below the other, you want to make this chain the same height as this plus that. And you can literally just lay them on top of each other and look at it and kind of play with it to see. And that's if you're doing a double and you want them to suspend like that. So the way that this one does. See, their little heights are exactly kind of like that when they're attached. So play with that if you change your pattern. And if not, just stick with, if you're sticking with mine, it's super easy. It's just 3 on the small one and 6 on the big one. And then you just want to end with a pearl. And don't forget to put on 3 more of the seed beads, the small ones, the 15s. And if you do that, you'll have the same height that I've got for mine. All right, so let's look at this. We're exiting on this side over here. I'm going to go back through just the 15 there, headed in the opposite direction of the exiting thread. So you see threads exiting this side of the 15, and I'm going to go back through it that way. And just taking a look at it. So that's going to be my small charm. Thanks, Pauline. Oh, thanks, Leanne. Gina, you're so nice. You guys are so nice. Oh my gosh. Looks like they're the happiest chat today. I'll have to go back and read. And so before I carry on with the next steps, I want to reinforce this pretty chain. So from that 15-0, I'm just going to go all the way around again. And I'm going to go slow and be careful. So I don't want to skip any of my beads. The 15-0s are really easy to skip. So just get through as many as you can. And you see I was able to get through that pearl no problem. And I'm using 6-pound Fireline in case anyone's just joining or didn't see in the beginning that it's 6-pound design. You could use 4-pound too. I think that would work. I think the Goldilocks here kind of is the 6-pound though, now that I say that, because these pearls are not light. So with the 6-pound, you get the best of both worlds. It's still thin enough to travel your pearls, the small ones, but a little more support here. And you'll notice we'd already made 3 passes through these, and we're about to do a 4th. So in the end, it is actually really strong. And I thought about that as I was designing it, because I know things like a purse charm are going to take a little bit more, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say take a beating, because I don't think we were going to like damage them, but they're gonna flop around, you know. If they're on your purse, our purses go with us everywhere. Or jewelry we might not wear every day, but our purse charm might travel with us every day for the whole summer. So it's got to stand up to something. All right, so almost there. Keep going. It looks like I might have skipped a 15 there. That's okay. We like it anyway. It's still pretty. And I do recommend that second pass. I think it's really, really, really helpful. And I only did a second pass on mine because I thought it was plenty. But that said, if you want to do a third pass, that's totally good too. I think you can get through those pearls. If you had any trouble at all, you could always switch to a size 12 beading needle, and then you would have no trouble getting a third pass through that. But let's stick with 2 because I think it's actually pretty strong. When you get back here, same thing. Go back through that 15 again. But you can carry on to the next pearl if you want this time. Your needle will it'll kind of choose to do that anyway. There it is. I think it looks really nice. It's a nice hidden connection there, especially from the front. But yeah, so if you wanted this to be a necklace, from here you would just keep going. And if you wanted it to be a pair of earrings, you could just make a loop here for your ear wire. If you want it to be a bracelet, again, you would have to, on one side, I would connect it just like this. On the other side, I would have that strand go through the whole pearl. And so on your wrist, it would look like that. And actually sounds really cool. Just on one side, your chain would come from here. But the 15s will be passing behind everything here, behind the pearl from this side and that side. Try all of that if you like that idea. I think it will work out really nice. So all we have left to do is weave in, and then we get to play with like how to suspend it. So I'm going to travel around. Go ahead and travel all around your design. Through the inside of every 15. Try not to miss them. And then take a look at your tail thread. So here's our tail. We just met it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tail thread. If yours is on the top of your design, just put your tail through the center and then just pull it right back. And so let me make sure from where I am here that I've gone through the 15. Yeah, so you'll want to go through your pearl, your 15, and you'll find your tail thread exiting from that other pearl. So they're going to meet right there. And that makes it easy. We just tie a knot. Oh, thanks, Valerie. I'm going to tie that one first. And then tie that one. So there's a double knot with my tail. And I'm going to go right through the first pearl again. And that will pull it's going to pull that knot into the pearl. And on this pass, you will notice for the first time the pearl getting a little tight. But that is, I think, the 6th time probably you've gone through that pearl. So it's pretty good. When you pull this time, pull that tail, which is now knotted, pull that knot into that pearl. And there you go, all good. I'm going to burn it. So that thread path, guys, if you save this pattern, that thread path will work for more than just this design. It's going to work for any design with 5 in it. So if you do a ring of 5 beads, and these little frames, you can just tailor those to fit any bead. And it doesn't matter if it's even or odd count. And you can make it pretty much anything you like from there. You'll have the same kind of like serendipitous thread path thing happening. So here's my other one. So let's chat about putting them together. So what I'm going to do first is take this. I'm going to take my purse apart here and show you. I've actually been carrying this one around. I just wanted to see if it would, because sometimes when you do something that's trend, people ask you about it, and I didn't really go very many places this week, but the few places I did go, I can say I was asked about it 2 times. So I think it's definitely noticeable and people like it. And this one, when I was wearing it, because of the way I designed it to fit this strap specifically, the way I was wearing it kind of made it sit like kind of midway up my shoulder, because this is one of those purses that kind of connects like, let me raise up a little bit from this spot here. It kind of connects like that, right? And so when you're wearing it up here, it like sits right above. This is a very unusual, unique purse. And so that kind of looks, it's very noticeable when you're carrying it. But if you wanted it to hang down, like in the front, you could put it here. But, and now we're in the realm of thinking about like 2 questions you need to ask about the purse you want to use is, are your, oh, thanks, Sharon, is, are your straps, like, are you able to slide something on? So let me show you what I mean. If you're able to undo your straps and get something to attach, then you can custom design a little fit for it. And that's what I did here. And I can show you how I did that. We have probably enough time to at least start it. But I have another idea that I kind of wish I'd thought of first that would be even easier than this. What you could do is create its own little attacher. This could be handy for lots of stuff, actually. But, well, we can take this little button loop thing and use it as a way to hook to a strap. It would kind of hang like that. And then it would also put these together. So that's one way. You just have to figure out, does my purse have, let me show you another example. It's kind of a big purse, but like one like this, where the handles are on the front of the bag. Those are really good for bag charms, because all you got to do then is you hang it from the front and it just hangs right there. The trickier ones is when the straps are on the side. So for those, you might want to have your suspension be this way. And for one that's going on the front, you're going to want to do something to join it and then another thing to make it go and face front again. So in my case, that's this little thing. Like that. So 2 ideas there. So what I did here, in case you like this, so I was just going to explain a little bit more since this one's more involved. This one's easy peasy. You could do this on beading wire too. I did stitch it, but make that with beading wire. All you'd have to do is just like crimp under the button and then crimp there. That could be your attachment. But for this one, what I did is I created a little ring. So you see there's still a little pretty ring. And one of the rings, hex bead, I literally just built peyote stitch off it. So let's do that super, super quick so you can see it in action. Just in case you like it. I thought it was pretty fun. So you'll want to start with a little ring of just seed beads and hex beads. And I think I just alternated them. I thought it was fun just to kind of have the colors all come together like that. So you can really see them. How many did I do? Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3. Looks like I did 7. So there's 4. And there's 5. And 6. And there's 7. And again, you could do this with beading wire, because this is going to be I would say what we're doing here is the part that's going to take the most, what's the most wear is going to be right to this thing. So if you wanted to do this with beading wire, you could. Yeah, Leslie, I love hex beads. They're so fun. They're really fun to create with. But so for this one, go ahead and put both of these through. And then go back through all those beads. And again, that was 7 spaced by 15s. I'm trying not to miss them there. And I did start and end with a 15. And what ends up happening is these suspend and they kind of hang on the 15-0. You could switch to 11s for this too, and that'd be just fine. I'm going to get back through the first beads. There we go. And then pull to tighten. So there's a little ring that connects them. I'm going to go around it one more time. Through those. And stop when you meet your tail. Oh, and how much thread? I cut about 25 inches, 25 or so. It's not critical. It's just like half a wingspan or so. There we go. So I met my tail here. And it's not super tight yet, but I'm going to just tie a double knot. Actually, before I do that, let me just pull. There we go. My tail was a little longer than I intended. Didn't need that much, but I can weave that in at the end. And there we go. All right, so I was going clockwise, so I'm going to keep going clockwise through the next 15. And I'm going to try to travel to the top, so get through as many of those as you can. Now let's go right there. That's good. Okay, so let's spin this so that there we go. Okay. So what you'll see is you've got this pretty little ring of all those hex beads like that. From the top one, this is pretty fun. This one is like, I love doing this, but go ahead and take another bead and you can switch colors if you want. We're just going to be doing hex beads from now on. So pick up one of those hex beads and go back through the same side your tail's coming out. So we're headed this way out of that hex bead. I picked up a new hex bead. I'm just going to go back through. And it pops that bead just like that. And then just pick up another bead and head back through. And actually, I did a little triangle pattern. I just thought it was cute. So I did the little Rosaline beads. So you see, I'm just picking up a bead, going back to the last one, single column peyote. And this is the step where you're going to want to measure your purse strap again. So mine was pretty small. So I only had to really, I think I created a ring that was stitched about 3 inches long. Or let me think about that actually. It might have been more like 2.5. But I started doing this cute triangle pattern. And it's not reinforced yet, but don't worry, we're going to do that. and so on. So from here, what you'll really want to do is like get your bag. And let me see if I can find the one that I had out. And you can just start measuring it. So I have another this distance to go. Actually, let's switch to that one. It goes quick. So making this design does not take very long at all. Oops, switch back to that one. I'm doing little triangles. See, not required, but looks cute. Oh, I know, Barbara. I love single column peyote. And actually, with the leftover X beads that I have from this design, I just want to make a bracelet or a ring. I had another idea to share too. I don't know if there'll be time, but I might just do another class that shows how to do this in an odd count. So you can do single column peyote in an odd count, and it puts 3 beads, and that looks really cool as a ring. And so I might do that too for another design. Or let's see, we're right at 51 here, but maybe we get time. I could at least start it. This actually went a little quicker than I was expecting. I thought I was going to be really rushing to show this part, but all right. So when you're doing single column peyote and you want to join it, like let's pretend we're making a ring, for example. Notice how I've ended with 2 up beads on the ends. The up beads are in the same column. You want your up beads to be in different columns from each other. A column being there's one column and this is the other. So let's pick up one more and go back up through that last bead. And now we have one column's up bead, and on the other side, that's the down bead, which is going to make it super easy to join. So from here, when I want to pick up a new bead, I'll just bring it back here. And I'll pick up the new bead, which is going to be this one right here. So you join the down bead, you'll be exiting from the down bead, go through the up bead on the same side. And then from here, let's try to make it so it's a little hard to see because of the way we're joining it, but you're going to just go through the up bead that's on that first side and then make a turn to complete that, going through the one that's connected. And now you've literally got, well, it's a tiny little pinky ring, but it doesn't really fit. Well, it doesn't fit over my giant knuckles, but it definitely is exactly how to make a single column peyote ring. So if you feel like doing that with your extra hex beads, you can make some really cute rings. From there, just weave in. So you can go back through your original bead here. And really what I did is I headed back down through this ring, the one that's joining my little pieces, my 2 hearts. Or what are we calling these? Are they hearts or flowers? I came back down here and I used that tail again to tie off. I won't make you guys watch me weave through that, but you get the idea. You can bring this up and weave back and tie to it, then just burn it. There you go. So that's one that this kind of suspension right here, where there's a loop facing forward and it puts it like this, that's going to be perfect for things like that, where it will hang on the front. The only problem with the bag that I'm showing you right now, this was actually the only one I had that had the front suspension. I guess I just don't have a lot of bags where like this is the front strap. Usually all my bags for some reason the strap's on the side, but it's not a broken strap, meaning it's completely the same. So I would have needed to permanently attach it before I sewed it on, so it would hang like that. that makes any sense. If you don't want it permanently attached, now you're in the realm of hardware. So the first thing that popped in my mind was those like lobster claw, like you get a giant lobster claw. Keychain that opens and closes. That's something you could just find like at a local drugstore or something. A really large carabiner, something like that. For anything that you think will look cute on your purse. Or, permanently sew it on. And then when the season's over, just trim it off and recycle the beads. That's another thing you could do. So, that is actually what I'm going to do for the bag I just showed you. I'm going to go ahead and permanently attach it. That's why I didn't finish weaving in here. So I think I can walk around all summer with that on there permanently. And then at the end of the season, it's a summer bag anyway. So it's like I'm not going to be carrying this around in the winter. So just leave it like that forever. And the Fireline will last a long time. Also, Fireline can get wet. So pearls, I think they can too, because aren't they from the ocean? So I don't know. That's just me thinking, but I feel like it would still work. So I'm going to scan. I feel like I'm missing comments because that was kind of a nose to the mat kind of project there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so single column peyote is cool. And it's quick, and it uses up beads really quickly. Like these pretty hex beads. I have a lot left. I made a bunch of these. And I have enough to do loads and loads of them. So if you guys are wanting to see, I saw a couple requests to do a ring. I could do a ring. I could do a ring and a reel too. But what I'll do is I'll write up some little instructions and I'll drop them on the same page as where you found these instructions. So okay there. So the same page where you got these, I'll put a ring pattern there. It's so easy. It's going to be like a one pager with a diagram that goes like that. It's quick and it's really pretty, and you can like make so many cool little designs. It's very intuitive. The odd count isn't too hard either. You're just kind of doing what I think is like repeating a figure 8. I think it kind of looks like that. I was actually doing that. I took it apart because originally I thought this was going to be a ring with the smaller pearls. I was going to do that, but with the count of 5, one side wouldn't connect. As you see with this design, you have a side that's got a point and a side that you'd have to do 2. So I was struggling to get that to work on something small format like a ring, but I'm still playing with it. I'm not done playing with it. I just thought, oh my gosh, purse charm trend achieved. So there's that. Let me show you guys the blooper. It's not a blooper. It's beautiful. It's not a 1-hour project, and it doesn't immediately tell you what it is, even though I had something I was going for. But here's my first purse charm. It's bead embroidery. It's intricate. I spent way more time on it than I should have. Because at the point that I realized it wasn't going to be the project, I kept going because I wanted to finish it. And it doesn't really have a true way to suspend. I'm going to need hardware to get that to connect to something. But I did a good job on it. I like it. It's supposed to be an oyster. Does it look like an oyster? I don't know. Or it looks kind of like a smiley face. My son looked at it and he said, it's a smiling cyclops eye. My oyster dreams vanished. So I don't know. Whatever you see here, it can be. Or it can just be kind of abstract. And I was playing with the chain. I was making like this was my way of getting multiple passes through. I think I was on my 3rd or 4th pass there. And so you can always dodge your pearl by making and your gemstone. See, little gem there. If you get to where you want to go through it again, but you can't make a pass through it because your gem or your pearl is too small, you can use the side of them and just jump over them with 15-0. And that always looks really cool. It's kind of frozen. Hex beads are cool in a brick stitch on the edge of bead embroidery. Yeah, it could be a pendant. That's cool, Ruth. Yeah, it could. I was going for purse charm at the time, but I feel like it would be a cool pendant. I mean, it could even be. It's not that much bigger than my current earrings. It could work. Oh, it could go for hair. You could do lots of hair pieces have a dangle. So, oh man, that could be cool. We should do that. We should do a little barrette that has a dangle on it. I have so many ideas. Oh my goodness. So let's see. Let's do our giveaway. I have I have a, I don't know if I'm allowed to show what it's called yet. So I'm showing just this part because I forgot to ask permission to show this front and I don't remember if it's out yet, but I know a lot of folks already have theirs. So if you know, you know, and if you don't and you win, you're getting it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, Colleen.
I just want to say that is the most beautiful oyster I've ever seen. I just wanted to say that. So, and also, who doesn't love accessories for their accessories? Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's give away some stuff.
Oh, Sharon says she likes it as an earring. You know, I'm feeling an earring now that I held it up. I thought it was too big, but my earrings are just as big. They could totally be an earring.
It could, absolutely. All right.
And Kelly, how do you measure for a single column? I'll answer that one in just a sec here.
Okay, here we go. I love giving other people stuff away. It's my favorite thing to do.
Me too. I haven't even opened this one. Oh, okay. So I don't know who River Key is. Are you still here? That's a new name for me.
Me too.
A lot of us have aliases on here on the YouTubes and the Facebook. So if you are here, please let us know. I'm gonna need to make sure I connect with the folks who win because prizes are going unclaimed in my lives lately, and then I hear from people late and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
and they don't remember. It's like so I'm gonna make sure she's still here. Let's see. If not, we'll just do another drawing.
Oh, okay.
We'll give her a few minutes and let me go ahead and answer the question I saw. So how do you measure for single column peyote? If it's for yourself, that's the easiest. You just put it on. And when you've got it to where it can almost zipper stitch it. If you're making it for someone else, use a ring mandrel. Ring mandrels are super, super easy. Hey, she's here. Yay.
Yep, she's here.
Congratulations. So your name is new to me. So if you send me an email, it's Danielle@DanielleWickesJewelry.com, or you can go to DanielleWickesJewelry.com and get me through the contact form there too. So however, I'm also on Instagram messengers @DanielleWickesJewelry. Just get in touch with me and let me know where to send your box. Yeah. And so I promise guys, I'll do this ring because I need a ring. I think I need to make one. And the one I took apart, I wish I hadn't, because I think I could have at least shown you the failed idea. It was like half a ring with a flower on the end. And I didn't even take a picture. So yeah. So let's see. That's the whole class for today, but I have more pearls. Do you guys want to see the pearls they sent me?
Okay. Something's coming.
Man, I get pearls from Sam's Bead Shop. I mean, when I get anything from Sam's Bead Shop, I'm just like,
yes.
Open this one. Oh, I'm not on screen. Sorry, I forgot. I took my other camera out. Check this out.
Whoa.
So those are coming up.
Those are beautiful.
Little sneaky there. And because in case you're shopping today and you just want to get all this stuff, I'm doing a pre-recorded video. So this is a video that will be on Sam's Bead Shop's YouTube channel. And they usually launch them within a week of this one. And I think I know the date. Oh, the date's on my calendar, actually. It's not ringing on the top of my head, but on my calendar, I put the date for this recorded class using those. Oh my gosh.
So pretty.
I'm dying. They're so pretty. So those, if you want to grab those two, they're also on the website. And I'm going to be using some Czech glass with it. And that are these little rosettes. So if you want to snag them, hold that link. That link is going to show you like this big list. So I wanted to show you what I have so you know what you're going to be seeing content for because it's coming. And yeah, that is pile of beauty goodness. So free tomorrow. I'll be on Silver Silk Sunday with Nilay Patel. We go live at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and I believe that's 3 his time, which is Central, and 4 Colleen's time, Eastern. And then we have Becky Foster with us tomorrow. So that's our surprise guest. I just leaked that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I love that. Becky. And I got Becky on my May calendar. So if you haven't checked my calendar yet, You gotta check it. Because we got her to come on. So she's coming on to show us how to organize your findings.
Yeah.
This girl needs help. This is my findings. When I need something, I'm like rummaging through it like a cat in a cat box. I can't find anything in here. And she's gonna help me, like, save me from myself with that. So join us for that. Yeah, and check out my calendar. Oh, and if you're not already getting my newsletter, I have a newsletter going out now, and you can just sign up for that. You go to my website, DanielleWickesJewelry.com. Contact form is right there, and you can also see subscribe. If you put your email in there, I try to do it weekly. Last week I didn't do it. It got crazy, but I at least every other week will send you quick update reminder. Sometimes there's little hints and helps and extra patterns that are secret, and codes for the shop. Yeah. Oh, and Colleen is posting a link to the one I sent out this morning. So if you're not already a newsletter subscriber and you want to see this morning's, you can see it there at that link. Oh, Gina, no problem. You can see this one here, and then you can just sign up for the next one. This one will be next Saturday. So yeah. Oh, and next Saturday, I have Leslie coming on with me. Leslie Pope is going to show us how to make the Tila bracelets with the cool little center symbol findings. So I'm working on mine right now, and I love the pattern.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
I can't wait to. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I loved getting to be back with you guys. Really missed you last week, and I will see you either tomorrow for Silkies, or I'll see you for the next Seed Bead Saturday. All right, bye for now.